Hello, everybody. Welcome to viewer questions for the week of April 29th, maybe. I think that's what the date is. As you can tell, I'm getting my voice back. I'll be yelling a little more. Trying to keep the yelling at a mid level so that I can keep the voice for a little while. Because I am performing 3 shows this weekend in Chicago, 2 in Chicago, 1 in Detroit. So if you're in Chicago or Detroit, head on down there to the shows. You can get details at leecamp.com. I'll talk more about that at the end. But as usual, if you leave a comment on this video, 2 of you will win my stand-up comedy special. Also, I'll be giving out a copy of Max Blumenthal's new book, The Management of Savagery. We'll be mailing that to your house, I hope, assuming it doesn't cost $900 to mail a book. But yes, I'll tell you how to get enter to win a copy of that in a minute. But let's get to some viewer questions real quick. Actually, before we do that, I want to go over what's going down at the Venezuelan embassy here in Washington, D.C. I mentioned it on Redacted tonight, but to give you some more details, they are holding that space. They're calling themselves the embassy, the Venezuelan Embassy Protection Collective. Yes, not cooperative. Collective. If you want to find out more about that, go to Popular Resistance or Code Pink. Both of them are helping to create what's going on there. And basically, it's a bunch of activists, and you're welcome to join them if you're around D.C., if you want to come to D.C., who are basically just holding the space, staying in the embassy. They've been invited by the Venezuelan government. Gasp, what? You know, that the Venezuelan government actually has some say in their own goddamn embassy? What are the odds? But, yeah, so these activists have been invited to be there, and they are at the embassy, and they're staying there at the invitation of the Venezuelan government until such time as the U.S. government decides to, I don't know what, arrest them for being on Venezuelan property. It is a very confusing legal situation in which the U.S. government has declared a completely unelected douchebag as the president of Venezuela when he's not. And they have now said, oh yeah, that embassy belongs to the unelected douchebag that we just declared head of Venezuela. And everyone in the world, most people in the world are like, I don't think that's how that works. I don't know. Because embassies, they're not just like a place that a country gets to stay. They are actually the sovereign property of that government. So Venezuela owns that building here in D.C. in Georgetown, and it's just a hop, skip, and a jump away from a Sweetgreens, and it's right there by the Georgetown Canal, and it's their property. So if the U.S. goes in there, which it's totally violating all kinds of conventions. Why do you think Julian Assange has been in the Ecuadorian embassy in London and hasn't been able to be arrested for 7 years until just a few weeks ago, the Ecuadorian government said, yes, you can come into our embassy and arrest Julian Assange, which was disgusting. I've gone over that many times, and please continue to show unity with Julian Assange for freedom of press. But that is the property of that government. That's the property of the Venezuelan government. So the U.S. government is now in this weird situation where they have to decide to go in to a property they're not allowed to be on, they're trespassing, and arrest people that have been invited to be there by the Venezuelan government and drag them out and accuse them of trespassing. I mean, there's no, I fucking don't know what they would try and pull in court. But of course, a lot of the courts have been captured by our corporate ownership. So, you know, but it would be a tough legal situation. Anyway, if you want to help them out, because you have the time and you want to be part of something that's meaningful, look up the details at Code Pink on Twitter or at Pop Resistance, I think it is, at Pop Resistance on Twitter. Code Pink, Popular Resistance, they both will give you all the updates on the Venezuelan Embassy Protection Collective or Cooperative if they start farming something. Okay, so moving on. Let's get to some viewer questions. And then I'm going to give away the book or show you how to enter to get the book. And, yeah, let's see. This is from Sid H. She or he. Sydney used to be a very male name, and then my mother was named Sydney back in the 40s, and ever since then, it's all female name. Sid H. Question: what are your thoughts about Americans so fed up with America that they're working towards expatriation? The ethical dilemma of staying and fighting versus just going somewhere slightly more reasonable. Love what you do. Thank you for all your work. Well, Sid, go! Run! If you have a chance, get the fuck out! Do it, man! Feet, don't fail me now! I hear what you're saying. I think make a sprint for it. No, I think you should stay and fight, but I understand that's not for everybody. And honestly, wherever you go, whatever country you go to, there's going to be fights going on there. They might not be as epic as the American Empire, but there is poverty to some degree in just about every country. There are troubles. So you can fight for good in other countries, but yes, the one of the biggest, most epic fights in the world right now is here in the United States, and I think, you know, if you're watching these videos, I think we need you because you're smart. If you're watching me, you fucking got your head on straight. So I don't know. Stay. Why don't you vacation? Take a vacay. And then come back and you'll be refreshed and you can get one of those little cucumber mask things and you'll be feeling good and then you can come back all refreshed, ready to go, right? So you can help us fight. Yeah, take a vacay, come back, hit me up when you're back. I can't see replies is the name of this person, and I love that because neither can I. Yeah, no. I know I tell you to leave comments, but I can't see them. That's not true, I'm reading them right now. Oh, man, I just caught myself in an epic lie. I can't see replies says, Russiagate is nothing more than a cover-up for the reasons Trump won the election. They don't want to face, I assume they, meaning the Dems, the Dems don't want to face the fact that they were disconnected with the public, from the public. Yes, absolutely, I agree with you, I can't see replies. If you can see this, if you can see my reply to you, I agree with you. That is a large reason for what's going on right now with the with Russiagate, and it's why it's been so heavily pushed. It's why it was created in the first place. Was the Democrats can't look at the real reasons they lost to one of the worst candidates that has ever become president. They lost because they stand for nothing. They don't actually stand for the average people. They don't actually stand for the working people. They don't do anything to help with daily need, to help an economy that is rigged for the richest motherfuckers in the world, to just help them get richer. The Democrats cannot speak to that. They cannot speak to your average workers and to fit following the 2016 election, for them to turn around and go, you know what? Why did we lose this? Why did we lose to such a fucking con man? I bet it's because we weren't really speaking to the common people. I bet it's because we are detached and living in a bubble of wealth and security, and we cannot, we aren't living up to the promise that we make of being the party that helps the lower class, that helps the people that need it. That's the deal we've made. The Republicans made their deal with their voters. Hey, we're gonna fuck everything up and we're gonna enrich the rich, and they're doing it. You know, they're doing it. So they're living up to their side of the bargain, whereas the Democrats try and say, oh no, we're going to help people, and they don't. They're doing the same as the Republicans. So it's because they really are all just Republicans, two flavors of Republicans, and yeah. So they had to come up with something that, for some reason, Trump won that wasn't that didn't look in on themselves, analyze their own fault, analyze their own gaping, festering, pussing wounds, and say, look at that. How do we fix that? They can't do that. The corporate Democrats cannot do that. So they just paper over. I think on one of the episodes I used fluffer, what's it called? It's just called fluff. I used fluff to, I did not use a fluffer, I'll tell you that. That was not on the show because that's inappropriate. But they're under the desk. No, it's a clear desk. If there was someone under there, you'd see, it's a clear desk. I've been trying to get a non-transparent desk for years so I could have my fluffer and eat it too. Okay. All right. These jokes are getting out of hand. But on an episode I used fluff to cover up but yeah, got it. The double B, that is your name or your chest size or Not sure. Double B says, I love the term clickbait farmer. Sounds like someone who grows clickbait and discusses among themselves what a great harvest it's been these past couple of years. Yeah, that's what it is. She's talking about the clickbait farmers that they indicted in the Mueller report, because that's what those were, the Internet Research Agency or whatever in St. Petersburg. And they indicted these people. And then one of the companies that was indicted in that, see, part of the reason Mueller did that, indicted Clickbait Farm, was twofold. One is it's meaningless. Like, I've gone through it a million times, how meaningless that clickbait shit was. But another reason was he knew that them being in Russia, they were never going to come here, go to court, and then risk getting arrested by coming to America and fighting it in court. So he knew he'd never have to explain or show the details of why he indicted and why these people, how the proof. But in one of the indictments, the company that represented someone actually did come forward and go to court and say, okay, we'd like discovery. Discovery is the process in law where you get to see everything the other side has. You get to see all the information because that's how you're allowed to defend yourself. And Mueller was like, about discovery, about actually seeing what I have on this. Let me see here. Okay. Ha-ha! Oh, hot one coming through. So he passed it off to another. Anyway, he tried to find a way to get out of discovery because he can't actually reveal what it is he has because he's got fucking nothing. He's got nothing. We have one of the most corrupt presidents ever. But in this case, in Russiagate, they've decided to pick on something that is absolutely a false conspiracy. Oh, by the way, Rachel Maddow was outraged that apparently someone on YouTube showed people an RT video to explain the Mueller report, and she said, ah! And then Aaron Mate, this journalist, he's worked with The Nation, he's worked with Gray Zone Project, he's worked with Democracy Now! He goes, really, Rachel? Because you've been provably false on just about everything on Russiagate. So you're perhaps the worst person to ever go to explain the Mueller report. And he goes through fucking 20 examples of how fucking wrong she's been at every step of the way. It's incredible. Oh, man, I gotta pronounce this. Pohakumana says, come to Hilo, Hawaii, Tulsi's district, and interview Tulsi, please. I would love to come to Hawaii, but I have this TV show I do, and I kind of got to be here. So I can't fly around the world as much as I used to. Also, I've noticed that anytime you say you're going to Hawaii or someplace awesome for work, I got to go to Hawaii to do an interview. People go, yeah, sure you do. Uh-huh. Right. No, really, I am doing an investigative report on happy ending massage parlors. They're everywhere, and I gotta crack down on them with my reporting. So I need to go to every massage parlor, see how many happy endings happen. You know, this is a scourge on our city, and I am now going to lead the charge in dealing with the happy endings. There will be nothing but sad beginnings from here on out. No happy endings once my expose comes out. So yeah, going to Hawaii, I don't think people would buy it that I'm going for an interview. I would love to have Tulsi on. Something tells me she's probably not going to come on Redacted tonight, but would love to have her. She's been doing great work, calling out the military-industrial complex in a way that no other candidate is willing to, because they know that they will get mercilessly attacked, which she has, by the corporate media, because you can't go after the military-industrial complex. They're just a completely unaccountable trillion-a-year mass-organized murder machine. You can't point at them and say there's anything wrong. What are you thinking? No, they're doing great work. You just high-five them and let them go. Oh, what? You got $1 trillion of unaccountable expenditures and you happen to murder tens of thousands every year that the American people don't seem to care so much about? Go get them. Good job. All right, I'm coming to Chicago and Detroit. Detroit, I haven't been there in years. Chicago, I'm not going to be back for, I'm sure, a couple of years. So this is it. This coming weekend, 2 in Chicago, 1 in Detroit. And the only place to get tickets is leakcamp.com/schedule or redactedtour, TOUR.com. Go to my website, get tickets, come hang out with me. Winners for last week are Bill Perdue and Midori L. So to get your free stand-up comedy special, go to leecampledger@protonmail.com. Email us there, and we will send that to you. That's Bill Perdue and Midori L. For anybody else to enter to get a free stand-up comedy special, just leave a comment. That's all you have to do. Leave a comment, and we will enter you to get if you want to just buy the stand-up comedy special, that's at leecampcomedyspecial.com. And lastly, to get a copy of Max Blumenthal's new book, The Management of Savagery, I'll be having Max on this week to talk about the book. I'll try and get him to sign it for you. We'll see. But to get that, you just got to email leecampledger@protonmail.com and say you'd like to be entered to possibly win the free book. And that's it. All right. So, Chicago, Detroit, I'll see you soon. New York the week after that. All right, everybody. Keep fighting.